I feel like the first time you travel somewhere and you get to see something completely different, you kind of understand that there's different ways of life. That there isn't just one, which is the one that you know from wherever you were born or spent most of your time growing up. And then when you travel again a second or third time, you understand that there's lots of different ways of living. And none of them are correct. But because there's so many, you get to choose what feels right for you. If the way of life in the place where you were born doesn't feel right for you, you don't have to choose it. You can go do something else. And I find a lot of joy in that. I also think that, you know, when you travel a lot, you carry a little bit of each place with you. Maybe a favorite food from this country, or you like something about the culture from this country or this culture, and or you learned a few words here that have a meaning that doesn't exist as a word in your language, but it does here, and now you know these words and you incorporate them in your speech. Well, you become kind of a combination of everything. But then I feel like as you travel even more, not just the first few times, the theme is very much what I just said, which is, oh, look, there's different ways of life. And that makes me free to choose what I want. And you see how everything's different. But then as you travel more and more beyond those four, maybe beyond 5, 10, who knows, countries, places, cultures, then suddenly each new place, you start to notice the similarities instead of the differences. Like, first European country I went to, I think, was Portugal. And I really, really liked it. I was studying aquatic ecosystems and sustainability there for a little bit. And then later I went to Spain. At one point, Denmark, Copenhagen. But then I've been to Latin American countries like Costa Rica and Argentina. And when I got to Argentina and I walked around to a good few places, suddenly it's like everything, everywhere else that I've been to, was here. Like there's this canal and this pier, which reminds me so much of Denmark and Copenhagen. And when I walk along that canal and that pier, I feel like I'm in Copenhagen. And then there's a particular street with a particular ice cream shop that has like next to these cobblestone roads. That reminds me so much of Portugal. There's a walk by a park that reminds me of Spain. Whoa. I just saw the sun actually like cross the horizon. Like I saw the top of it shining and then it disappeared. Wow. Now it's just glowing, but wow. There's Russian cafes here. Not here. I'm not in Argentina right now when I'm filming this video. I'm in Uruguay, but there's Russian cafes in Argentina that remind me of Russia. And then when there's this grill and people, grill meat and vegetables in the air, you can smell it. I feel like Friday nights, Thursday nights, you can smell it all through the air. It's so wonderful. It smells just like a campfire that my grandparents used to make in Russia. When we would go camping in the middle of the woods. And there's this really nice Japanese garden. And when I went there, it really did remind me of Japan. And they had beautiful mochi desserts, and they had quite nice ramen. And I got to fold the paper cranes out of origami paper. And I felt like I was in Japan. Because they really do that in Japan. And in Hiroshima, they have this whole box of paper cranes, like 5-7 boxes that people just leave because of the legend of if you make 1,000 paper cranes, that you get one wish, that it will come true. And originally, this legend came from this girl who had cancer, and she was, essentially dying, but she made paper cranes. She liked making paper cranes, and so she kept making them in hopes of getting a wish. I think she did die due to cancer. I don't think the paper cranes, I don't know if she got to 1,000 or 1,000,000 or something, but I know that ever since then, lots of people make cranes and leave them there. I've traveled a lot, and I've lived many stories, and I forget that sometimes. But I think I like telling those stories. And I think the amount of experiences that I have had adds to all of the perspectives that I carry. And also to my ability to change perspectives. When I'm tired, I forget that that's a thing that we can do, but there's lots of perspectives out there in this world, aren't there? And isn't that just amazing? Isn't it amazing that there's so many different places and everybody does things differently and speaks different languages and has different perspectives, even if they speak the same language, and have different interests, and the environment is different. I feel like I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. Sometimes I really like the online world, and I like playing Club Penguin, for example. And I love designing my books on Canva and spending hours doing that. Or watching YouTube videos or trying to learn something new. Sometimes I'd rather read about a place or see a picture than go there. But I think that's only because of a fear that, maybe it's difficult to get there. Will I be okay? Will I go by myself? Will I go with someone? It's just new. Sometimes we fear things. just because they're new, not because we can't do it. But sometimes I'm just like, it would be cool, but I think it just looks pretty in the picture, and I don't think I'd actually care if I was there or not. I can just look at the picture and be like, that's cool. But sometimes real physical life is interesting and beautiful. Not like 3D on a screen, but like 3D in 3D. Like a sunset over this calm. Where am I? Am I by the river or am I by the ocean? I don't remember, and that sounds really bad. Whoops. That's okay. I will educate myself after I finish talking and filming this video. Like a sunset. With this beautiful, beautiful water stretching all the way out to the horizon, and I can see some islands, some tiny islands. But to see, not just like on a rectangular screen, but like it's all of it. And if I reach my hand out, there's space there in front of me. And also I can't touch the water from up on this cliff. I can go down and touch the water, but like it's air. There's so many mosquitoes right now. Sometimes this is more interesting, more wonderful than a computer. And then it's all worth it. The hard things are worth it. All the hard things that eventually led me to be here where I am right now, because I like where I am right now. Don't know exactly where I'm going. I seem to be making that choice day by day and changing my mind day by day as well, but it's okay. Standing on a cliff and looking out, water and the beautiful waves. It looks so cool to see the waves from above, because they're coming in slowly, and it looks slow because of how high up I am. But then I can see the texture of the smaller waves above the big ones, and I can see the colors reflecting from the sky. There's this beautiful, beautiful, dark orange, followed by this light orange and yellow, which drifts off into kind of white, which then drifts off into the blues and the darker blues, maybe some pinks and purples. Sometimes I do a lot of things, and I try to get a lot done, and I try to be productive. But I'm one of the people who believes that productivity is one of the biggest lies of our time, of our society, capitalism. Sometimes that's not what life is about. What is life about? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you for sure. My answer would change on any given day, as it should. But sometimes it is about nothing. You don't even have to think about it. It doesn't matter. Because I'm here on a cliff and I'm looking at a beautiful sunset. That's it. I'm standing on a cliff. In a new country again. Looking at a beautiful sunset. Wondering at how amazing it is that I even got here. I used to be so scared of so many things. And I can't say I'm definitely not anymore. But I can surprise myself. I can do the things I'm scared of doing. Not always. But a lot. Really a lot. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for surprising myself. There's this great quote that I heard, which is that sometimes you don't need more information, you need more courage. There's a reason courage is a virtue. Because it's not easy. It's not courage if it's something is easy to do and you're not scared of it and just, whatever. Just because someone else is scared of it but you're not and it's not hard for you, that's not courage to do it. It's courage when you are scared of it. When you have to make that choice to do what you want, even though it's new, instead of make the choice to turn back out of fear just because you know where you've been before and it's familiar. I'm just here on a cliff looking at the sunset. It really is important to live. There's some things that you can't just read in a story. Stories can move you and poems can move you. Literature and movies and other sorts of media can really move you and transform you. And there's some things that you just need to experience to live. I love writing a lot. I keep a journal and I have dozens upon dozens of them. And sometimes I think oh, why would I ever go anywhere or do anything if I can write about going somewhere and doing it? Or if I can, just write about going to that place. Or, I don't know. I don't want to give an example of something I haven't done that I don't want to do. The point is, I like writing stories, short stories, somewhat fiction mixed with reality. And some things cannot be written. It's so orange right now. It's so freaking cool. And when it comes to living things, nothing ever turns out exactly perfectly. Nothing ever goes exactly as planned. And a lot of times we avoid it because of this. Why go snow tubing down an actual snow mountain when it's going to be freezing, like actually freezing. You're going to have to put on all these layers of clothes, and you're going to have to carry your tube up the hill, and then maybe there's a rock that you're actually going to fall off of, when you can just snow tube down the mountain in Club Penguin, right? Then you can do it, and it won't be cold, and you won't get hurt if you fall off, like crash into a rock. You're just gonna be fine sitting in your room by the computer. But life wasn't made to be perfect, was it? It's beautiful in everything that it has. And I can say that some moments are hard, and in the hard moments I probably won't tell you the same thing. But that's okay, because those pass and then the good ones come, and then I'm grateful, even for the ones that were hard. Ooh, getting chilly, still mosquitoes. Yep. I'm glad that I didn't force myself, though, to like go somewhere, do something exactly. I really do just let creativity and curiosity and my intuition drive as much as I can, whenever I can. Because if I would, like, sometimes I liked my computer, and if I really did just force myself to get out of it, I don't think I'd enjoy anything in the real world, because I'd be like, well, you know, it has all these other things, like I'm cold, or I need to drink water, and then my water is far away, or I have to go somewhere, and like I have to walk more, and yeah. But then the world shows you these beautiful things, and you run into these amazing people that you make friends with, or you see these two fish playing tag in the aquarium, or you see a wonderful restaurant that has these quotes about love all over its outside walls in chalk, or you see a rainbow when you weren't expecting one, or who knows what. There's just these things that happen when you show up in the world, when you just go out and be in it. There's, things that happen as well when you stay at home, when you are on the computer. And also when you go outside, but you have like a very strict routine, like, oh, I'm only going to go here and I'm only going to go there. But when you wander, even a little bit, you don't have to wander off to a different country, even though apparently I like to do that sometimes. But just wander through some streets, walk around in places you've never been, and like look at what's there, and just, I don't know, trying new things, sitting at a new cafe, and just having that spirit of openness. Because I met a friend at a cafe today. She wasn't my friend earlier. I had no idea who she was, but you know, we just started talking because we were both at the cafe, and we ended up sharing a table, and we just had some water, some tea, and we hung out, and now I guess we're friends. You know, it was a lovely conversation. The person wished me the absolute best in life and all my adventures, and it felt really genuine, and I really appreciated it. It was just a really lovely conversation. I feel like a lot of the things I do and a lot of where life takes me is just almost due to wandering and just being like, well, what happens? Like, you don't even have to ask what happens. Just exist in the world show up and be open to something happening. It doesn't have to happen, right? And nothing specific has to happen. You just be open to the world surprising you, to you surprising yourself. I think that is so powerful. I will admit, though, depending on where you are, it might be hard to do any of these things. I can't say I really enjoy wandering around New York City when I'm in New York City. Maybe a little bit, but it's not the same. New York City has a really fast and rushed culture, and it's okay. It's great for whoever loves it, and there's lots of sights and sounds, but they're all very like selling things to you. Versus I get to see this beautiful sunset for free. Well, not for free, right? Because I had to get here and I'm staying somewhere and I had to pay for that. But, I left the house where I'm staying. And this is beautiful. And really, what I did was take a walk. Anyway, you don't have to wonder if maybe you're not in a walkable city. That makes it so much harder. And that also probably makes depression a lot easier. I've seen some of those US cul-de-sacs. I get it, but when you live in a place where you can only get around with a car, I don't know. Sounds like it's hard to run into people or things and just hang out. Just hanging out. I love that phrase, to hang out. Whew. Another mosquito. I never understood what it meant when I was younger, even when I was in high school. I didn't hang out very much, but turns out hanging out doesn't mean you have to plan anything big or special. You don't even have to know what you're going to do beforehand when you and your friend hang out. You just drink tea and talk. Maybe drink tea and eat ice cream. Wink, wink to one of my best friends. And you kind of just exist. It's the being instead of the doing. And sometimes it feels like we have to relearn the being because we do so much of the doing. But then, every so often, it just comes naturally. And I think it's with that curiosity and that creativity and that letting go of having a specific thing have to be done or a specific result, to just play, explore, to wander. I think that's where the being happens. It's so hard to be when you don't know how to, but it's also so natural and human. And I think maybe it's just maybe even just pause on the technology for a little bit, 24 hours, and just see what happens. It was so amazing that day when I didn't use technology, like electronics, my phone or my computer, for 24 hours. My brain just went wild, and it was genuinely surprising to me. And I'm like, wow, I forgot that my brain can do that. I don't know where I'm going. I do know where I've come from. I'm grateful for where I am. The rest is an adventure. Just as practically everything else has been, I think. I find it fun. when I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I like seeing life unfold. I like that I don't have a specific plan, that I want to have this specific career or this specific job or get this specific degree or be an expert in this specific craft. It's great and amazing for anyone who feels like that's right for them. And for anyone who doesn't, I hope you don't force yourself to. I don't think that's right for me, the set path. Have you ever heard of this quote where you know you're on the right path when the path disappears? Because that means you're really creating it. You're really making your own rather than following someone else's. People say that all the time, blaze your own path. Who cares? Do whatever you want to do, This is what I want to do, so this is what I'm doing. That's all I can say. Do whatever you want to do. Listen to whatever quotes you want to listen to and just... wow, those colors, oh my goodness. They're so... wow. I'm cold. And there's mosquitoes. But look at those colors. I don't think you can see them. But, I'm gonna have mosquito bites tomorrow or today in like an hour. Wow. And all my thoughts are gone. And I don't care what I know and what I don't know. About where I'm going. I know some things about where I don't want to go. The ground is cold too, and kind of rocky. Wow. Wow. Now that is a color. Wow. It looks so otherworldly, but it's not. It's this world. Wow. Oh my gosh, if I turn my head. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. This is... wow. There's a horizon and I can see the horizon. I've missed seeing the horizon and the water all the way to the horizon. I'm cold. Okay. I think I'm gonna go soon. There's someone sitting on the beach with their dog. It's so cool. Brrr. I want a picture of this. I'm gonna go take a picture of this. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me. Do. Diddy. Do. I think, I don't know what I think. That's wonderful. When I'm watching the sunset, or I'm drawing or something, my thoughts actually stop. It's amazing. It is amazing. Sometimes they stop. Sometimes they don't. Okay. I'm gonna go take a picture of all this stuff. have a wonderful day. And what I wish for you, if you wish this for yourself, if you think it's beneficial, is just this one thing, which is to be open to being surprised by the world and by yourself. To be open to the fact that, maybe you don't know everything. That's part of what comes with being open to be surprised. OMG, I see the first star. Oh! Okay. See you. I hope the world does surprise you. I hope you do surprise yourself in wonderful, wonderful ways.